Wow.
Hello, Mover.
Hi.
Hello, Doug.
Doug's
Hello,
typing. You can
Gonky.
hear it.
I know.
I'm done.
I want a keyboard like that, man, from 1985.
It's a ducky.
Proper intro. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Mover and Gonky Show. I'm Mover and my host.
And I'm Gonky.
I'm out of
And then
frame. There we go.
And you all know our assistant, Doug. He's Heidi.
Assistant.
He's Heidi.
Yeah, he's Heidi. You're Al.
Woo. Wait a minute, dude.
Yeah.
Who does that make you?
Tim, the tool man, Taylor.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. Figures.
Okay. Sure.
Unless Gonky's Heidi.
I'm not Heidi.
You're very pretty.
This face is not no.
I don't know, dude.
No.
I'm
the neighbor.
Yeah. Doug's the neighbor, man.
Yeah. Hi. You're very formal tonight. Is this a job interview?
That looks good.
No, dude. It's my formal Mover and Gonky shirt. So
Road.
I thought I'd wear it, man. I mean,
see, Kevin said I could picture you as Tim. There you go. Oh yeah.
He is. He does make the same mistakes that Tim makes.
What? That is actually
putting DEF in the diesel.
If DEF existed during those times, he would have put it in his fuel tank. I
That's
guarantee
correct. That is correct. So plausible, dude.
How you been, Gonky? Tell me about your life.
I've been busy, man. I know I sound like a broken record doing the dad thing. It keeps you busy. You got yeah, man, we're kind of rolling into the summertime and getting the old bus, the old RV ready for some summertime traveling. And me and my kid been riding dirt bikes. Every time I take him out, he's like 7, right? Every time I take him out, dude, like I see him do something he's never done before. And as a dad, it's kind of cool because we have 3 rules: have fun, be smooth, and don't die. That's it. I'm the dad that's out there yelling at him to go slower. All the other dads are yelling to go faster. So I think that actually this is like reverse psychology. He gets mad and in his mind, he just hammers it. So it's fun to watch, man. Yeah, I've been doing that. God, man, I mentioned on the show last week, working on the front of my truck. I've had that thing to 3 alignment shops. Nobody can get it to go straight. So I've got another shop I'm taking it to. So
which way is it turn?
Right.
Oh, see,
yeah, I've done everything, dude.
If it turned left, I could be like, it's like NASCAR. Actually, a NASCAR on the straightaway, you have to turn left. So yours is ready to go.
Wait a minute. So on the straightaway, the car actually pulls right?
Yeah.
Do they do that so you can hold it in the left-hand turn better?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, the old Dodge is set up perfect for NASCAR. Only problem is
you should have brought it.
I don't drive it. Are the races at about 60 miles an hour? Because that's about
pace laps are. You could be the pace truck.
Yeah, dude, it's frustrating because I've done a lot of work to it, and I even bought the tools and did an alignment myself. And the last place I took it to, the guy said, "You did a really good job. I have no idea why it's pulling to the right."
Like, you sure it's not the crown of the road?
Yes. Yeah, because when I drive British style on the left side.
Why are you driving British style on
to test
for science?
Right, Doug. Sometimes, dude, you've got to bend the rules.
If you go on a gravel road, which way is it pull?
I don't go on a gravel road. I'm doing 10, 12 miles an hour. But dude, whenever I drive on the wrong side of the road, so the crown's the other way, it goes perfectly straight, which it should, it should start to come off to the left. So anyways,
Tom's got the right idea. Doing it for Dale over there.
Like Biff.
So that's what I've been doing. A whole bunch of domestic stuff. I actually flew a little bit last week in the old Sky Bus.
Clean shavenness.
Yeah, actually where I'm at, you can actually have a beard, but like I said, man, me and facial hair, I had a bad experience in the Navy. So I don't fly with facial hair, but yeah, I did a little flying and nothing exciting happened. And yeah, I'm still here.
So the question is, do you wear your watch on the right hand? No, you just can't afford a watch.
Yeah, where I work
They
at,
didn't give him a special fancy watch. He's been crying about that for the last 10 years.
Well, the United States Air Force gave everybody in our squadron a fancy GPS watch except me.
And the only minority.
And I was the only minority. So I'm not drawing any conclusions here, but
EO complaint of the century.
I let it slide. It's cool. Listen, look, hey, I don't know what time it is, right? I mean, it's always 5 o'clock.
Gonky time is its own time.
That's right, dude.
Gonky works off his own time zone.
Yeah. It's like Cuban time in Miami. I had to get used to that. Everything's mañana.
Tomorrow, dude. That's awesome. How about you, Mover? What I know you had an interesting weekend.
I had an interesting week. I flew Tuesday.
Look at you.
Flew the old helicopter. And then Thursday, Douglas arrived. Friday, we got up early and went to Daytona.
Man.
10 hours there. Then we got up early on Saturday, went to the track. I drove my stent, and then we drove 10 hours home. And now I'm here.
And tell everybody, you did 20 hours of driving for how much race car driving?
A little over an hour.
That's about right. Mm-hmm. But it was with Battlescar, right? So, I mean,
it was with Battlescar Motorsports.
Great organization, right?
Battlescar.org. I hope that's what Doug is putting up and not just typing to his girlfriend.
No, I'm chatting with Laura B. I don't have a girlfriend. Sorry, Laura B.
Okay, well, you can talk on the stream. It's a podcast.
But if I
don't type in the chat.
If I talk to her, I'll talk over you guys.
Or you could just wait. You know how podcasts work, right? We all take our turns talking.
This is our first show.
I've never seen a podcast.
You had a podcast, and so listen, 20 hours in the car with Doug. I learned a lot. And I learned that Douglas had his own podcast.
Before being on this one?
Yes.
Twice.
When podcasts were first coming out.
Oh, wow. What was the topic?
Two seasons, 22 episodes. Autocross.
Cones. Orange cones.
22 episodes?
Yes, sir.
Dude, he was like a major podcaster back in the day.
Dude, yeah. Wow, that's amazing, man.
We used my RV for the studio.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, as you have done as well.
Sometimes with kids and whatnot, you gotta do what you gotta do, sir.
It was nationally ranked.
Well, back then, how many podcasts were there? 2 or 3?
So it was one of one.
He was one of one.
One of one.
Dude,
we were 11th out of 12.
And you know what failed on me, dude? Besides the self-driving thing, which I'm going to get to in a second, but most disappointingly, I had a plan. We were going to watch either Airwolf or Psych on the way back.
Oh no,
that was tough.
The little magic box or whatever, the HDMI didn't work, so the Roku wouldn't work. So my first world problems, couldn't watch anything except talk.
We were restricted to Sirius XM as our only mode of entertainment from outside the car.
Yeah. But yeah. So my Yukon, you know how it's got Super Cruise, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it'll drive itself for most part until it gets mad to you. I had a bit of a lover's quarrel with this car because due to South Florida or mid Florida or whatever part of Florida we were in, traffic, which is insane, which I don't know how people survive in that part of the state. Dude, it's crazy. The north-south part of Florida is the worst traffic. Yeah. Nobody knows how to use the other 2 lanes. It's just the left lane everybody wants to park in. But Waze, I guess there was an accident. So Waze took us west before turning us north. So we were on some 2-lane roads and we were coming up to this red light. And I was like, I'm going to try to see if it'll come to a complete stop at a red light. It started flashing red at me. And it didn't give me a chance to intervene. So it came to a complete stop. It turned the hazards on. And then it told me no more Super Cruise for the rest of the day.
It's going to make you sit in the... Wait, I guess it can't make you sit in the back.
And so I had to turn it off, open the door, turn it back on to get my Super Cruise back. And then on the last leg, it just said, you know what? I don't know where I am. I'm not doing this anymore. And it also stopped again.
Yeah. I mean... This is my complaint for like autonomous aviation, right? When Hal's done, he's done.
It's just done.
It's
It
done.
It said no.
That's right.
Doug thought it was pretty hilarious.
I think it's totally
I was in a position to laugh for some time.
That's right. For a vehicle of that status and luxury, you would think
$60,000.
for
$60,000
$60,000, dude. You think it would do 100% of the trip, not 90.
Yeah.
You know?
So yeah, but yeah, 20 hours in the car. Poor Lunabelle. We got home and she's like, "Where are we? Why are we back here after this much driving?"
Yeah.
But no, it's fun. It's a good time. Battle Scarred's awesome. Got some good laps on the track.
Well, you ran a different car this time, right? You normally run a Mustang. This time you ran a F body.
Trans Am, 97 Trans Am with an LS3 swap and some growing pains.
Was it manual, right? 6-speed manual?
Oh, yeah. They only have one automatic, and it's the hand control car for those that are paraplegics.
Yep.
This car is so new, it's not on the website. I was looking for pictures.
Yeah. No, it was good. I think we're estimating. Crayon sent me the math based on the RPM, and it was upwards of 160 to 170 miles an hour.
You do 170 in a 4th gen F body?
Yeah, it was shaking every bit of that too.
I was gonna say,
yeah. It's the NASCAR 4 into the front straight to go for the road course, and dude, it felt like the ARCA car coming around turn 4, but it's not as stable as the ARCA car, so it's just like, on Days of Thunder where the camera kind of shakes. My eyes were doing that, and that's not a good thing because usually your vision's stabilized. But
so they put LS3 in it. How much horsepower is LS3?
525, I think. Is what this engine is. I don't think LS3s are 525. I think this LS3 is 525.
When I was in high school, I had my mom's 4th gen Z28 up to 142, and it was not stable. Dude, I can't imagine 170, man. Don't do that, kids. That was bad.
Yeah,
back then when I was real.
Doug
bad.
and I were talking about that, about how we're lucky to be alive, or I'm lucky to be alive from my high school days, or just today. Really, I mean, every day is a new adventure.
Yeah, CG, that's why I drive a 20-something-year-old diesel truck with 350,000 miles. It just doesn't go fast. It's a safety measure because I know I'm not mature enough to have anything that actually...
Well, Doug and I were talking, and you both need full self-driving.
What? Is it because of the incompetence or...
No, just for the technology.
Well, like I tell everybody, my truck has lane departure, dude. If you don't pay attention, it will depart the lane. 100%. So it keeps me engaged, right? So it's good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, let's see what the audience says. And then, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but things have changed a little bit in the world since the last
quiet week.
6 weeks. So,
yeah. Which is kind of nice, right? I mean, dude, every week it's been like...
We've had to bring no experts in this time.
Well, I mean, except... Us, yes.
Experts. Corvette World Rob, Daytona.
Yeah,
it's really great. Nolan's Grammy. Hey, kid. Funds for the Mover Razor Fund. Gonna miss the beard.
That's awesome.
Me too. Me too. The men won't. A lot of men have told me that I need to get rid of this beard, but a lot of women have said I need to keep the beard. So who do I trust?
I don't know. Well, it's just hope the tan line is even by the time you go to draw.
Oh, dude. It's going to be a white.
Dude, I'm not going to be able to take you seriously, dude.
No one does. No one does anyway. That's fine. You and everybody else. Robert, if Doug finds it, otherwise, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas says, evening, gents. So 25,000 miles per hour. That's a lot of smash, mover.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's how the Marines calculated our speed.
That's
the gear times the horsepower. G Walker, can you all explain your call signs? Probably explained it 100 times. Gonky likes to gonkulate things. Hold on.
Yeah.
What does Gonky's...
My call sign has never been publicly acknowledged due to the sensitive nature of...
All right, here we go.
What does AI think?
Gonky is the call sign of an experienced F-18 pilot, frequently appearing as a guest on Mover's YouTube channel to discuss his time in the Navy and the Royal Malaysian Air Force. The name is likely a variation or play on his last name or a specific, often embarrassing event in his career. Usage example. Gonky appears in videos discussing flight training, military life on Mover's Monday episodes. Synonyms, related names. While not directly listed, call signs often stem from embarrassing stories like Pigpen for a pilot who soiled their flight suit or Bambi for one who hit a deer. Gonky likely falls into a similar personalized category. He is not to be confused with C.W. Lemoyne, Mover.
How could you get us mixed? Hey, put Mover in there. What does it say about Mover's call sign? It probably nails it, right? So you can't read it.
What? How did Mover get his call sign? How did Mover?
Yeah, I can't.
Call sign?
I have not been able to figure out a way that I could explain it to my mother. So therefore,
here we go. C.W. Mover Lemoyne, a former U.S. Navy and Air Force Reserve pilot, earned his call sign because his last name is Lemoyne, which sounds similar to lemon, leading his squadron mates to jokingly name him after the household cleaner Lemon Mover, which was eventually shortened simply to Mover.
Wow.
The key aspects of Mover's call sign. Origin. It originated from a play on his last name, Lemoyne, during his time in a fighter squadron. Squadron tradition. In keeping with tradition, call signs are rarely chosen by the pilot, but are assigned by squadron mates, often based on names. He runs a popular YouTube channel titled C.W. Lemoyne, formerly often associated with his name Mover, and he discusses fighter pilot culture, aviation, breaks down aviation movie and game. Hold on.
That's funny, man. I had no idea. Look at you.
Dude, this makes me not want to use AI for all my life decisions anymore.
Well, that's true.
Way wrong.
That's true.
We all have a bottle of lemon mover under our sink.
Dude, I've discovered this. Like using AI to try to like help me figure out, for example, why is my truck pulling to the right? And it sounds right. It sounds good, but it's
hallucinating.
Not right. Yeah. It's on drugs.
So if you want to know, go to my channel, go watch the very first Mondays with Mover. I explain it there.
Yeah. And I never explain mine. It's
not for public consumption.
It's not for the year 2026.
$2 ain't gonna cut it, or $5 or whatever.
That's right.
Well, because he follows up with how much to tell us, Gonk.
I don't think I can.
You need to have enough that you're willing to buy out the channel.
Well, if we base the value on its current state, wait a couple $550. $550.
Dozens of thousands.
Enough to pay off Doug the last payroll.
B Shoke says banner closed course professional drivers. Amateurs. You're only a professional if you get paid to do it.
That's true.
Paul says self-driving makes us all Wizzo backseaters. Just shut up and drive.
Not really, man.
Said last week.
That's true.
It actually makes us all airline pilots, is what it makes us.
Yeah, exactly. We are autopilot monitors.
Yeah. It's dude, just like an airline pilot though. When it didn't work, it was very hard. It was tough driving home. That last hour and a half, ask Doug. I was very upset.
Even with a good alignment, huh? You had to really hang on to that wheel.
It's just like a well-tuned fly-by-wire jet, but
oh, dude, it's funny. How many turns did you miss? You're like, I forgot. I actually have to.
Well, you have to know with that stuff too. But a couple times, so it's got this thing. It's auto lane change where you just hit the blinker and it'll go on its own. And I did that. Yeah, it looks for openings and stuff.
Okay,
but I did that a couple times. Like I hit the blinker and then nothing would happen. I'm like, oh yeah, I got to do this.
That's funny. You are a trained animal, dude.
Yeah,
it would be a lot more entertaining if it didn't look, but only once.
Lisa. Good evening, guys. Thank you for your show.
Probably not her voice, but thank you, Lisa.
I only do. Oh, you only do bubbles in the back. Yeah. Carol says for only $19.95, you too can find out what Gonky means.
Oh, Carol, I don't know. Like I said, it might. I'm sure it would break some YouTube rules and.
I need more lemon pledge. I didn't know that I needed more lemon pledge.
You know what? That is, it's amazing that it drew that conclusion for you.
Is lemon mover a real thing?
Like I said, I've never heard of that, but like, I'm actually really impressed that it was
Yeah,
able to.
you Google it, nothing comes up.
The closest I could get was a cleaner called Bust a Move Cleaner.
Of course, dude. Of course.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what Mover cleans his house with. Bust a move.
Well, Afterburner USA evening, fellas. Gonky's shirt just looks like it should say supervisor. Does the call sign have to do with high up tactics?
I can't, man. I tell you, maybe the last show, Mover.
Episode 69.
Maybe the last show will be the big reveal. Because then, if it once they delete the channel, it won't matter.
Yeah. What is this? What just happened?
Is that Bust a Move?
Bust a Move Cleaner. It's the biggest picture I could get.
Yeah, you can't buy it in stores. You got to direct order it from the factory.
Much like Jeremiah Weed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, let's talk about topics. You want to do that?
Yeah. What do we got?
Oh, wait. I was supposed to promote this thing. Where's that, Doug?
Oh boy. Hang on. I wasn't ready for that.
Wall art patches.
I got an email based on the last show, and I'm like, I'll help these folks out for our viewers at home. But my producer has...
Yeah, the link in the file had an extra letter, and it really threw me for a loop. Hang on. I'll be right there.
I got it. So the fighter pilot, KC, sent me an email. He says, if you'd be so kind, please check out the Sandy Medal of Honor litho sponsored by the A1 Sky Raider Association. We assumed every A10 squad or no club bar would want one, yet there's still plenty to be had. Shipping is free. Please spread the word. And I'm like, man, that's cool. Douglas, what are you doing? Why have you...
Why did you pick that up?
I don't know what... I just hit the button.
There
it is.
Yeah. Last week we had T-Bear on, and he went in depth about basically the Sandy mission, rescue missions, A10s. And it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so there it is. I'm going to replace the Groover and Donkey show with it. Cockpitcreations.com/collections, artworks and print. So here's your A1 scarf.
Yeah.
They're a nice guy. He sent me something.
I can't find it on the website, so you need to refer to the direct link.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about the world of aviation for this week.
Yeah.
Are we really starting with the city tour, Gonky? You want to do that?
Why not, dude? Put it up.
This one's near and dear to our hearts.
Yeah.
So a post says, Troy says, making illegal passes over the city, blasting over the city, cool stuff. There was nobody under the steps anymore. Wouldn't believe all the people that had living underground. It's amazing. Boy, that is just one big run-on sentence of nothing.
Can we make it huge?
Yeah, can we watch it in something that is...
There are no other options.
Really?
That's it. Those are the double clicks.
Well,
and it has some very copyrighted music too, unfortunately. It's excellent.
There's music?
Yeah, really good music.
So this is Nolan's.
An F5. It's a VFA Strikefatron 204 F5 flying over the city above 1,000 feet.
Yeah. And he's claiming illegal passes. Troy, you are wrong.
Is there a minimum amount of time we can play the music and get away with it? So
No.
we could have a little sound. No? Okay.
No. That is a badass flyover.
Yeah, it's good.
Gonky.
Yes, sir.
Douglas. Bye. What do you think?
Nothing at all illegal about that. In fact, what was the ranges up to the north, Shelby? Was that it? I forget.
Yeah.
Anytime we were coming back from up north, man, I always like to drop down, do the Lake Pontchartrain bridge run, right?
Causeway.
The Causeway run, yeah. So we drop down at a couple hundred feet, straddle the bridge, and what is it, 15 miles across there, isn't it? Something like
26.
that. 26, yeah.
25 miles. Something like that.
Yeah, we'd be, whatever, 400 knots.
Flip off the Causeway cops that are sitting there running radar as you go.
Yeah, and then as you get towards the shore, just before New Orleans, they get you the city tour, and you'd pop up to 1,000 feet, and then just do a nice left-hand turn over New Orleans, man. You get to see the stadium, you know, the downtown area. It was super cool, man. You do a loop around there, and then we break off down to the southeast for you know, the initial over at the Navy base. But they it's 100% legit. It's a clearance you ask for, and it's not uncommon. I've never done something like this in an airliner, but Mover, you've done isn't there like a city tour up around like New York or something, like the river tour? Is that what it's called? I remember you telling me about it.
No, it's just that's the arrival.
Yeah, but there exists these I don't know if they're called VFR routes, but no, man, what he's doing is 100%.
Well, I'll show you.
Legit.
I got a whole video of it.
Of a city, yeah. In fact, you and I have done it.
Yeah, but
together.
This is my Finney flight. So that's the North Shore. There's the bridge.
Yeah.
Simple Jack is over here.
Yeah, there's old. Yeah, dude, drop it down. Yeah, God, the good old days, dude. You said it's 26 miles?
I think it's 24, 25. It's
dang, dude. It's almost a marathon across there.
It is. Yeah, I used to do it. See, there's a bridge. We drop down.
Yeah.
That was a pretty cool Finney flight because I dropped live bombs, and then we did a couple BFM hacks. And there's the city. And so just like you were talking about, you're 1,000 feet above the highest obstacle. So you're like really 1,200 feet.
There's a stadium.
There's the Mercedes-Benz Superdome.
Right. You can see the bridge, everything, man. Yep. And
it's all, you're talking because you're in a Class Bravo airspace.
Yeah.
So you would call MSY and say, hey, I'd like the city tour. And if there was no arrivals or anything, they'd give it to you. That's the Crescent City connection.
There's the bridge, the big old bridge.
Now, granted, this is a little more leisurely than old boy in the F5. I'll give him that. But I was just trying to savor it.
Right. Yeah, and I don't remember them ever giving us any kind of a speed restriction. They just said, cleared the, it was awesome. I mean, all the controllers around New Orleans, man, they're always like, I mean, they were super friendly with me. So, I mean, I think they were very supportive of the base. I mean, there's Eagle Squadron there, Marine Helicopter Squadron.
So that's the same bridge that's in the video.
Yeah.
Right? This is I'm a little bit wider. And then that's this other side of it.
Yeah.
And then coming back.
And the GoPro distorts the altitude. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's the city back there. Oh, Simple Jack.
Yeah. So you're headed to initial right now, right? For
we're gonna come up
Navy.
and do the carrier break.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's nothing I don't know, man. Old Troy there. I guess he's just trying to drum up some trouble because
people always think cool things are illegal. And then that you know what? That's how cool things become illegal.
Yeah, I just think some people because they're not the ones doing it, whatever they feel they need to spoil it for everybody. Which is aggravating. But yeah, you're right, man. I mean, I don't know. I miss it. I'm jealous. Very. Yeah,
me too.
Back in the day.
I wish I could do one more, dude. I wish I could.
10 years ago.
Imagine. So there's a rumor that they're getting Super Hornets.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Can you imagine flying a Super Hornet in New Orleans?
It'd be fun, man.
God, it'd be awesome.
It'd be awesome. Yeah.
God, it'd be so cool.
I know,
man. Anyway. Hey, put the Iceland thing next because that's a good segue, but I'm gonna get to these comments real quick. Douglas. Full Afterburner USA says, evening fellows, Gonk shirt looks no, damn it. I do that too much. Grok got Movers call sign story. I was using just regular old Google. Mycel's reference desk. What is your favorite book or the book series? Spectre series.
Yeah. Yes, Movers Spectre series is my favorite.
I like the Gonky coloring book series.
That's a good one too. Yeah.
Treason Flight, Vengeance Flight by T.R. Matson.
Yeah. Those are all good books. I usually read books about like how to do things.
Piloting for Dummies.
Correct. Yes. How to fly planes better. How to fly planes more better. Fly gooder.
Fly gooder, suck less. You know what, though? In all seriousness, if we're not talking me, which you should, the Expanse series, James S.A. Corey, really great books, really great series, TV series. Love them both.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not to be preachy, but probably my favorite book and the one I read every day is the Bible. I read a lot of these books up here are real estate.
You got Treason Flight right there.
Correct. I do have some of the yes, Mover and Wombat's books, but yeah, I read a lot of books about real estate and things like that. Like I said, to try to learn how to do stuff because I'm not very smart. So
you do audiobooks now.
Then that's the other thing. Yeah. So in my older age, I can't hardly read anymore. So I listen to a lot of books as well, like when I'm driving or if I'm riding a motorcycle, which is nice. Audiobooks is nice.
Yeah, I did a Higher Call as an audiobook, which is a fantastic book. I
actually read that one, and it is fantastic. Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Jealous says, I'm 99.69% sure I figured out the call sign Gonky.
Yeah.
Keep that to yourself.
Keep it to yourself. And I'll never acknowledge it, even if you nail it.
That's what she said. Chris Westbrook says, quick shout out to my sons, Hunter and Jameson, who will be attending their first air show at MCAS Cherry Point May 9th. Nice.
Awesome. Yeah, have a good time. That's awesome. Hopefully it doesn't get canceled.
Whole Afterburner USA says, shut up, Troy.
Oh, I love it.
RR Pilot says, howdy, y'all. Love the show as always. Don't worry. At some time tonight, I'll think of some crazy old school question to ask about steam power planes. Nice. T38A. And Thomas says, don't y'all know it's Gonky the Donkey.
Gonky the Donkey. Yeah. Let's go with that one. That's yeah.
All right. Hey, speaking of city tours, Icelandair. Doug, to the article, please. Doug, to the article, please. There it is. Icelandair looks into unauthorized low flyover on retiring captain's final flight. Reykjavik. Icelandair is investigating a pilot after a 757-200 operating flight FI 521 from Frankfurt to Keflavik conducted a low pass over Vestmannaeyjar on April 11th, reportedly during the captain's final flight before retirement. The airline considers the incident serious and confirmed the maneuver was not pre-approved. Local reports indicate the captain, who is from the area, deviated from the standard arrival route to fly over his hometown. Video circulated online, sparking debate about whether the flyover was sentimental or operational as a breach. Chief Flight Officer Linda stated that the airline was neither informed nor approved the maneuver, emphasizing the commercial operations follow strict procedures, defined flight patterns, checklists, and coordination requirements. Local reports add that Icelandair apologized to those people, referring the matter to police, and is working with the Icelandic Transport Authority. Follow-up reporting on April 13th by RÚV and other Icelandic outlets indicated passengers were informed of the flight pass in advance. The pilot requested and received a route deviation from Air Navigation Services. However, they maintained the flyover was not approved by the airline, which is the problem. Safety margin is non-negotiable. Airways contributor Captain Chris described the episode as a clear reminder that aviation is built on safety, discipline, and judgment. He also noted, as many commenters have, that any consequences could extend to the first officer, whose career may be scrutinized for being present during the maneuver. You didn't get out. This concern may become one of the story's most significant aspects. Some online observers defend the pass as a harmless farewell. And farewell gestures are common. Douglas, let's play the video. We will decide whether it's appropriate or not. There's actually videos. There's videos inside and outside. We'd like to see them all, please, sir.
We're going to begin with outside.
Outside?
Perfect.
With noise.
Does it have noise? This is all the noise it's got.
This looks like Microsoft Flight Sim, dude. Look how scenic that is.
It's Beautiful.
Uh-oh. Doug didn't pay his internet bill.
Noise and buffering both. Awesome.
Here we go.
I mean, you're below the mountains. So the Jipwiz is probably not happy about this.
Is there an airfield over there that he's doing like a low approach to, or is he just flying low over?
No, this is him flying low over his village. Or
over a fjord.
And
we also have this video.
At least they got the flaps out.
Oh, yeah.
Ves Manijar. Dude. Pastor, I'm like, we're about to land.
Yeah.
This looks like landing.
This doesn't look like Frankfurt or whatever they're going. Oh, man, that's beautiful.
A harmless final farewell. Dude, look at that. Actually, I'd pay for this.
That is beautiful, yeah. Look at that.
Well, we have another one? Have another video?
It's the same one over again.
All right, expert. What's your analysis?
Oh, am I the expert?
You are. You're the only resident airline pilot on this show, sir.
That hurts me, dude. That hurts me.
Let me ask you, when you do your final flight, are you going to do this?
Dude, my final flight is going to be probably a one-line sentence to flight ops and a box full of goodies heading back to them.
Next thing you know, they just delete your account.
Correct.
Yeah, been there.
So here's the thing. I mean, here's what I think. What he did is not unsafe. The airplane's perfectly capable. It's beautiful weather. Obviously, he's familiar with the area. It's not unsafe what he did. Now, like you always say, Mover, two things can be true, or multiple things be true at the same time.
Okay.
However, I'm sure that is Icelandair, right? Icelandic Air. They have an ops manual, operation specification manual. They have a manual that talks about conducting flights, approved flights. And I would be willing to bet that like you can't do what he did based on the rules given to you by the company that actually owns the airplane, right? So while what he did was not dangerous, he probably broke some rules within the company to do that last flight. Even if ATC, I mean, ATC will get, if you ask for a clearance, I mean, like the Airbus, like the A320, 39,000 feet is all the higher it can go. If you ask ATC for 40, they'll give it to you. They don't know the limitations of your airplane or your company, right? All ATC cares about is, separation and, terrain, obstacle, stuff like that. So they'll give you whatever clearance you want. So he could have asked him like, hey, I'd like to deviate from our flight plan to go through here. We're going to do a low approach, come out and do whatever. And I'm sure the controller's like, yeah, dude, have at it,
So this says a different article. I had to have it translated. The Islanders were shocked to say the least, but the noise was so loud that many thought the plane was simply going to crash. It landed in Keflavik after a flight from Frankfurt. So this is on the end.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
It was a pilot's last flight from the islands, and he took a scenic flight over the trails of his youth. And this is what, as is tradition. I can't imagine that's actual tradition.
Well, and that's the other thing. Like maybe at Icelandair.
Well, have they just not had any other retirements lately? Because otherwise this wouldn't be news, right?
Well, or maybe this small, I don't know. I've never been to Iceland, but maybe this little village, they've never seen such flying machines, right? So it's a big deal.
Well, the PR officer confirms this, and I wonder if he confirms the tradition. I don't know, but there it is without the internet.
Yeah, like I said, man, the only thing I'd be worried about is the operating language in at his airline if it would prohibit this. If there's some sort of clause in there, be like, hey, if it's your last flight, you run some paperwork, you want to fly over your hometown, good to go. But I kind of doubt it.
Dude, I don't think this would be legal even if not. I don't know what the Iceland rules are, but I mean, you got to think flying low altitude. I mean, there's one. Like the general, I don't know.
Dude, I don't know. Other countries, there's different rules in other countries, man. I don't.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, there's
their Facebook groups are also ablaze. Well, I mean, dude, that video, it looks like it's going to crash. I mean, honestly, that looks like something that you're like out of a movie and you're waiting. Because remember, it's about what's the news now, right?
Right. Right. But I can see that. I'm not arguing that, good on you, Captain. I'm just saying, like, what he did is not unsafe. I mean, like you say, hey, they got the flaps down. Good, right? Because he's flying slow, right? So they flew the airplane down to a couple hundred feet. They did a flyby and they left. Should they have done it? That's a whole nother question. That depends on what rules govern their operation with paying passengers, right? So, like, when you have paying passengers on the airplane, dude, you're paid to fly from A to B as safely and expeditiously as possible or per the schedule, right? So, deviating from that with passengers, man, I just find it hard to believe that any passenger operation would allow that.
So his name was Olafur Bragason. He was 65 after 40 years of service.
Oh, wow.
It created a police referral. The airline says it's not standard practice. While symbolic gestures such as flyovers sometimes occur at pilot retirements, they are typically planned in advance and conducted with strict safety and regulatory margins. Icelandair emphasized that low altitude pass was unprecedented and not standard practice. Dude, I don't know how you squirm out of this one because
I don't think you can. And like the article says, I'm not really worried about the captain. I'm worried about the first officer who might be looking for another job.
Yeah, but is it the culture? Like U.S. for sure, but
right.
Is it like some other countries where the FO kind of defers to the captain?
I don't think so, and but I mean, dude, there's two of you up there, right? I mean, you're supposed to back you. Hey, captains, probably, I know it's your last flight, sir, but that's probably a horrible idea.
This sounds like an interview question for the airlines. Okay, so you're flying along and your captain says, this is my last flight. We're going to look at my childhood village.
Right.
What do you do?
I mean, I actually kind of had a question like that once early in my aviation career. And the right answer was support the captain as best you can for a safe outcome. And then, report it, talk about it when you get on the ground.
You're like, I object with this decision. Yeah. I don't think this is a good idea.
Yeah. Gonky's not on board with this.
Yeah. You're like,
yeah, exactly.
I hate this idea.
Yeah. Lower. You sissy. Such a wiener. Get it lower. That's right.
But this is a terrible idea.
Yeah. You want flaps? It's like, dude.
Well, and that's the other thing, dude. He's going slow enough to need flaps. Like you're maneuvering margins. Look, if this were a empty repo flight, I think it's less like you're hijacking some people who are just trying to get from point A to point B. They didn't sign up for this. Now, some of them might have liked it, but they were really trying to get from Frankfurt to Keflavik.
That's what I'm saying. That's what you're paid to do. I mean, you're a bus driver, right? Stay on the route. Like, don't
you imagine your Greyhound guys like, oh, I got to go by my house. I'm going to pick up
my
cigarettes. Kids. Yeah. Go pick up a few things. We're going to go to the Circle K here for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, he's been flying for them since 1986. I mean, he was hired in when things were saltier. And I'm not
with the original flight attendants.
Probably the other. Yeah, most of them are his ex-wives too, but but I don't know, man. Even back then, like I haven't heard of many stories of guys doing that, just because, like you said, you don't really own the airplane. You show up, you're kind of borrowing it, and in the airline world, literally the mission is like, don't highlight yourself.
Well, Gonky, remember, was it a year or two ago? We covered this. Delta captain rents a whole ass A330.
Yeah.
Like he spent like 60 grand.
I think more, dude.
Yeah. Well,
a whole year's salary, so maybe 100 grand.
Yeah. So he spent a whole bunch of money, but he didn't do anything wild. He just put his bros on the flight.
Yeah, flew to Hawaii, redid his vows, and came back.
Because you got to think about it. That's the highlight of your life, is autopilot from point A to point B. Right. Do what your job has been for the 40 years. Don't become a fighter pilot there at the end.
Maybe he was a fighter pilot, dude.
He could have been. But that's the Finney flight. You do your fighter, you do a fighter Finney flight to do that kind of stuff, not your bus driver. Right?
Yeah, I think it's, I mean, I don't think there's no denying his poor head work on his part. But
when he first started, maybe this flies. No cell phones, just people are like, this is cool. You can't do that in 2026.
No, and even in 1986, when he started flying, you probably shouldn't do it with paying passengers on board. I mean, like I said, you don't really own the airplane. You don't own an operation. You're literally paid to fly from A to B. And I mean, come on, he's gonna get a water cannon salute when he lands. Isn't that enough? Well,
it'd be a different kind of cannon if the police show up.
40 years, he probably gets a Casio watch. I don't know. Where I'm at, you get a calculator watch. Real nice. So
you even get a calculator watch?
You're
they
right.
give you a drink voucher for your next flight.
That's right. That's right. Here.
Grab
a free Fresca on the way out.
Yeah, have one Diet Coke. Jeez.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what do you think, man? I mean,
I think if it had been an empty plane, it's a different story. But with passengers, especially with the way aviation is right now, you don't. The safety margins are there because of the safety margin. Like he hits that mountain, something happens. They hit a bird, lose an engine, create an EP.
Yeah, birds down. I mean, dude, he's right on the coast, right? You take a bunch of seagulls.
You hit somebody paragliding somewhere, I mean, dude, like
that's how good deals become no deals, mover.
Yeah. He's going to be flying a cargo plane full of rubber dog shit.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that'd be an upgrade for him.
He's instead of flying an airplane full of complaining passengers. Yeah. And dude, they're probably late to their destination because he deviated.
Airlines only care about what time you push back. They don't care when you arrive.
That's true.
All the metric is based off the door closing.
That's true.
When the door opens, not their problem.
Yeah. Everything past that is weather, not our fault.
Azotic says, I'm an American living in Iceland, and this stunt was 100% pure Icelander.
Oh, well, see, there you go.
Well, here's the problem. First of all, their whole country is a lie because it's not ice. They're very green.
Right. And Greenland's mostly ice.
Yeah. So how can you trust a country based off a lie?
It did look pretty cold, though, in that video.
Everything looks cold compared to Florida.
That's true. Valid. When you live in the South, that's right.
Anyway, Lisa says, honestly, I know almost nothing about aviation, but my late father loved it, and watching you guys makes me happy. He would have loved your show. Thanks, Lisa.
Wow. Thanks, Lisa. That's awesome.
Pipcore says, UK viewer here. Great show. Any counters with the Jaguar jet? Love that machine. Do we have somebody that flew it?
I used to fly with a instructor in the Navy who flew the Jag. He loved it, but she's been retired. So yeah.
A little before my time. Thomas says Gonky's final flight in an airliner on the 1MC, Hornet inbound, 1 mile port side. Hey, Bubbles, get up here.
That's right.
You know, you were
Request
saying
the
that
carrier.
in training, your best day was when the FO or the pilot, captain was incapacitated.
Yeah, which could be a lead into one of our topics tonight, Mover.
Could be.
Could be, yeah. So, yeah, I don't
tell the story for the topic. I'm just saying, you did talk about doing the carrier break.
I dreamed of it. The only problem is in the airplane that I fly, it won't let you bank that far. So,
have you ever seen a fatty do a overhead? They don't bank far either.
You know, when I first became a Hornet pilot, I took my dad up for a ride in a Piper Arrow, and I was like, "Dad, we're coming in for I'm going to show you the overhead.
The shit hot.
This shit hot." And dude, I had that thing firewalled, and I don't know can't remember how fast an Arrow goes, like 165, whatever it is, dude. It was so I was embarrassed. It was so anticlimactic because it's just, dude. And then, went into the break. It's way too tight. Messed it up. It wasn't good. Got to be in a fighter to do fighter things.
Paul says captain's last flight in a 990, 10,000 feet, just under Mach 1, Boston and JFK.
Okay.
What is a 990?
Convair 990, probably.
Okay.
Check that. Convair 990. That was the fastest, other than the Concorde, that was the fastest commercial jet I think ever made.
Convair 990 Coronado.
Yeah. Elvis had the 880, I think.
World's fastest subsonic airliner.
Yeah.
American
How do
Airlines.
I know these things?
How do you know this but nothing else? This is the problem.
Yeah, dude. 990 was what? 990 feet per second?
620 miles an hour. I can't do that math in my head.
I think that's why they named it the 990. I think it's like 990 feet per second the thing would cruise at.
Our pilot says, would you all start or work at a fighter pilot for a day type business? Would be a blast to fly with you guys, do some aerobatics and dogfighting. You know, we got offered to buy the Air Combat USA stuff at one point. The SF-260s he was selling.
I would say, yeah, if we could find somebody with a fighter jet that we could fly.
Yeah, it'd have to be something cool. Not a T-38.
I would do it in a T-38.
No, dude, we got to do it like MiG-29s or something.
Even though my back would hurt, but I would do it.
No, I can't. I can't do that. Need something cooler than that. Jay Walker says, does the retiring captain lose his retirement pension? Depends on the contract, dude, because that's all going to be union probably.
Do they have unions? I don't know.
Do you have a union?
Yeah, debatable.
Renee says there are tons of seabirds on that coast. Suck those into the intake. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Risk. Assumption of risk. Joe says, to quote the replacements, what are they going to do? Fire him? No. Well, in this case, they're going to put him in jail.
Good. Yeah, right. So if they determine criminal, right? Hey, you put the lives of all those people in jeopardy. Could be bad. Mach says, fun to get the Icelandic captain on here would be a great segment. I wouldn't be able to pronounce his name. We've got our guest, Bob. Right. Let's just call him Bob. Captain Bob. Tom says, put the bus into direct law. It'll bank. That's true. That's true. Gonky doesn't know his systems. Full Afterburner USA says, so I'm the nerd that actually checked the 990. Convair and someone else had that airplane to 0.97 and a descent from Angels 32 to Angels 22.5. Yeah, it was a very fast airplane, but it burned a lot of gas, so they didn't make many of them. Fast. All right, Gonky. In other news, a man has attacked the C-130 with a hatchet. At the Shannon Airport in Ireland, an intruder climbed onto the Air Force C-130, attacked it with a hatchet. Play the tape.
New developments. Two hammering the wing.
Yeah, we don't need the audio.
Look, dude, he's doing repairs. Oh, man. That's one of the old ones, too. Four blades.
Get there.
How do you get on the wing?
I mean, I'm not even mad. I'm impressed.
Was there a maintenance stand? Oh, Where is he? Oh, he's on the
hammering the fucking developments.
Oh.
Wow.
He climbed onto the wing, which was parked in a remote taxiway of the airport. Okay. A man climbed onto the wing of a U.S. military plane. You got to read it like that when it's all caps. The alarm was raised at 9:45 during the mid-morning, just a normal morning. The person, understood to be male, has been a United States Air Force. Was seen a United States Air Force C-130 Hercules military transport aircraft have been parked in a remote taxiway of the airport. It's understood that he climbed onto the wing of the aircraft and caused damage with a tool, a hatchet. It was extensive damage. A set of mobile stairs had to be used to reach and detain the man. He was arrested and taken into custody. So no, he did it on his own. They then carried out a patrol of the airport in an effort to locate the area where the individual gained access, which they probably should have done beforehand. What in the world? Additionally, uniformed Gardai, an armed detective, as well members of the Garda Armed Support Unit also attended the incident. They closed the airport for 30 minutes. So,
wasn't he mad about the? He's mad about the Iran stuff, right?
And everybody at this point, like,
I mean, what,
you got to be more specific.
What's the fuel prices in Ireland, right? I mean, I'm here in the States. I'm getting pretty mad about it, but
yeah. I mean, so also there were 3 women arrested after they allegedly gained access to the airside airport, area of the airport and caused criminal damage to an aircraft. That was a while back. Remember that happened?
No, different incident.
Yeah. So that last year they had the Shannon van tried to get crashed through. 3 people were detained after it got stuck in a ditch. And 2 weeks later, there was the 3 women arrested after they allegedly gained airside. So it sounds like Shannon just needs to get their stuff together.
Well, dude, remember we did that one story, I think in England, right? Those guys hopped on there and really tore up that tanker, the A330. Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, security is kind of a big deal. Like you said, Shannon needs to do better. Obviously, I don't know. These guys this airplane was in transit somewhere. It's been a long time since I've seen a 4-bladed C-130, but I don't know. I know in the Air Force, the rules for leaving an airplane, at least I can only speak to fighter stuff because that's the only thing I flew in the military, but the Navy was a little more lax with security in the sense that, we could land at basically any field that we could get into if the runway is long enough, park the airplane, leave it. I know the Air Force is a little more sensitive with that. Even when you land at an Air Force base, the Air Force is really hard over on security, which can be frustrating at times. But you're not going to have an incident like this, most likely, on a U.S. Air Force base without getting jumped on by MPs. But I think it's interesting, like you said, Mover, how did he get on top of the wing of the C-130? Because the people who came to arrest him had to, it sounds like the way it reads, they had to go get stands to get up there to arrest him. And then I questioned his choice of weapon. I mean,
well, it's Ireland, so
it is. I mean, a hatchet's cool, but the airplane's mainly metal, right? So, I mean, you go around there, you beat on the engine to sell a little bit. I mean, dude, good for the Herc, right? I mean, probably minimize the damage because he chose a hatchet, but I question the mental stability of this person. I get it. You're mad about the Iran thing, but there's a better way, man. What do you think, Mover?
I'm more on the security side. I don't think it matters why they did it. I mean, nut jobs exist, but it's a security failure because what if it had been not a protester? What if it had been somebody who gets on the plane and is not stupid and now sabotages it? And now we have a, mishap as a result,
Right.
That's what scares me, is that we're obviously not taking this seriously enough. to allow for the imagination to picture such things.
Well, when you're ferrying a Herc like that, I don't know. Maybe you don't either because you're a fighter guy. But I mean, what do they do with like security wise? You know, you land in Ireland.
I'm sure, like here, they rely on airports. I mean, probably there's a certain level, and they go, okay, this had a roving patrol, probably an offense, and both of those things broke down. You know, so the answer is, you know, do you have? This is a C-130H. It's an older one, so it's probably just stick one of the navs and make him sit with the jet or her.
Right.
As for our friendly nav that's going to be listening here in a little bit.
That's right. I mean, what else are they doing?
I'm going to hear from him soon. But yeah, I just think it's it exposes a vulnerability. Like,
yeah,
I don't really care why he did it. I mean, nut jobs exist. It's our job to make sure that nut jobs don't get this access.
Yeah, and like we alluded to, I mean, it's not the first time this has happened, and it probably, unfortunately, won't be the last time. I mean, but it is frustrating. Grab a hatchet and go.
Yeah.
Go
to town.
Right, go to town. So
I mean, we're lucky it's a gun-free zone.
Dude. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. And it's not like in a country of Ireland where they don't have bombers or anything. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
No one in Ireland ever blows anything up.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
I love Ireland.
How's your IRA doing, by the way?
My IRA?
You know, your investment.
Priced in fuel, it's gone down by about 50%, but
yeah. Anyway, Bullfrog Michael says, great episode so far, guys. God, I'm glad you think so. Digging the Polo Gonky. Were those ever available as merch options on the website, or are they host exclusive?
How
did we get those?
I think there's polos on the in the merch on the.
You want to tell the story behind that polo?
Link below. Yeah. So last year, well, it's probably been a year and a half now. Mover and I were supposed to go recreate the Chips episode with some police motorcycles, Harley Davidsons, but our contact.
No. Don't put that on him. You did.
What happened?
You hurt your knee.
Oh, that's right.
You couldn't pick up a bike.
That's right. I had my knee issue. That's right. Because you're right.
You're like, but our contact couldn't do such things.
I thought I remembered something with. Anyways, anyways, you're right. I forgot. I had my flare up on that trip that in late summer.
Did this flare up? What would?
No, I thought he had something. I thought he had a health issue.
Listen, now we're not doing HIPAA stuff here. We're just talking about you.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I thought he had a health issue too, but apparently it was me with the health issue.
It was your knee. You couldn't. You didn't think you could pick up the bike.
That's right. That was the. We were supposed to do it in the fall, and that late summer, early fall is when my knee flared up real bad, and I had to get it worked on. So that was it. But we got these
awesome polo. I've got one too. Doug, you can probably have one. It's a little small, but you can have it.
That sounds great. Definitely need one of those.
Yeah, but I think if you click in the link below to our merch, the store there,
wait a minute. I have one of those things.
I'm almost sure we have polos.
I don't know how to access it though. Is it under widgets? Yeah, right here.
Oh, fancy.
Look at that.
We're right here in the 21st century.
Perfect.
Widget. Let's see. W Landman says early 2000s, same thing. A B-52 at RAF Fairford.
Yeah,
that's unset.
Yeah.
Jay Walker says in his defense, the alcohol is pretty potent in Shannon. I've been to Shannon.
Have you?
Very, very pretty. I mean, I was just in the airport, but I've been to Shannon.
Really? That's
connected.
Awesome. Yeah, never been.
Crazy Pete says there are crash axes strapped to a couple of bulkheads in the Herc. Oh, what if he got it out of the Herc itself?
So you're thinking he somehow got access into the plane, grabbed the hatchet, climbed through the little the hole in the top?
Oh, that's not a hole. He'd have to cut his way through.
No, well, there's a door you can open, right?
Well, that's your fault for not locking your Herc.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know. Do they lock?
I don't know. Maybe the H model didn't come with locks. I don't know.
Are they like the tankers where they got a remote to open them up and start them?
Who would want to steal that thing? They're like, we don't put any locks on this thing. Look at it.
Yeah. We'll take the insurance payout.
Exactly.
Jay Walker says, as a retired USAF Security Forces member, a full base assessment needs to be conducted. I agree.
Yeah.
It's not that they did it. It's that we allowed them to do it.
Especially now, right? Given the current events and the security levels that we're at.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Imagine they sabotaged it somehow and, you lose a wing on takeoff.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Mad Max says, I would have chosen a Molotov cocktail, but it's Ireland and petrol's expensive.
It's not worth burning a C-130. It's
$8 for this
We're
one.
not about to waste a bottle of whiskey either.
That's true.
But on other news, though, so remember, Gonky, not too long ago, we were lamenting the fact that we had lost some C-130s on the ground.
Yeah.
And things had happened. Well, one of them's coming home. And allegedly, after declaring an in-flight emergency of all things, this thing was spotted landing. And check out the pock marks. Dude, this thing looks like me after I shave after not so long, where you put the little toilet paper squares everywhere because you're bleeding.
So wait, that thing declared an emergency?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which I think is why they were filming it. The spotters had taken note. But, dude, look at the number of... I can't imagine the man hours, one, to inspect it, but
dude.
two, to put these little patches on. I mean, do you think it flew home depressurized?
Dude, if I'm the aircraft commander, I'm like, we're going back at 15,000, gents. Like,
yeah.
We're not even that high. We're going to go back at 10,000 because there's no way all 6,900 of these little tiny holes are patched.
Look at this.
Yeah.
First of all, you're taxiing too fast, sir. You got to taxi no faster than a man can trot. But second, this old girl has been through it and is, I mean, dude, more than likely it will go back home and get fixed completely. Like, not just like this.
Yeah. There's what, 6 damaged and 2 destroyed KC-135s.
Yeah,
right?
this is obviously one of the damaged ones.
Right, since we've kicked off this thing, and I mean that's a lot of shrapnel. And I always ask myself, like, did you get them all? I mean,
that's what I'm saying, dude.
The shrapnel's got to go somewhere, right? I mean, so I wonder if there's still like metal in that airplane.
Oh, you're saying like it went through and then it was like stuck in the floorboard or something,
right?
Well, they've got non-destructive testing. They've got to have equipment to find excess parts, metal.
Yeah. I mean,
that's amazing.
Look,
it's even on the engine nacelles.
Right. I mean, dude, that thing is it's like it took a shotgun blast to the face. I mean, there's a lot of damage there. To
me, the takeaway is how amazing, number one, the sheet metal folks are, but in general, our maintainers. I mean, this is a testament to tanker maintainers, and well, any of them really, because they do this all the time. But the fact that they can just get it going, and not only get it going, but get it flying across the Atlantic home.
And it may have been one of those things where they just patched it as good as they could, just to get it home to do the real repairs. Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me if they flew, a lower altitude profile.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because like the fighters that have been hit by man pads, they've been repaired and returned to service. So you're right, dude. There's ways they can fix it. It's just it's unique to see a heavy with shrapnel damage like this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's not something that they do a lot of.
No. No, but I'd be willing to bet. I mean, probably Boeing is going to get involved. I mean, I'm sure there's, some of this stuff went through, I'm sure, structural bulkheads and stuff. And, there's going to have to be repairs done correctly if they plan on, using the airplane for another, how many 69 years these things have been flying. So,
yeah.
Like I said in the show might have been last week, but you pull up next to these things like this, they're old. These aren't new airplanes, and the skin's already, you can see the skin's wrinkled from.
How cold do you think it was in there? You think the heater's keeping up with all the? I'm sure there's some air that's moving around that wasn't moving around before.
What's that whistle? You guys hear that? You guys hear that whistle? Yeah. Dude, the old packs are working overtime trying to keep that baby pressurized.
Yeah.
But like you said, man, hats off to the maintainers
for sure
getting that thing going. We're poking fun at the airplane, but dude, there was a lot of work with that much damage. A lot of work getting that airplane fixed so it could fly back home. So
Funny Car Phil says it landed at Bangor, Maine about 9 hours ago. Next stop to the depot at Tinker.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I bet they pull more shrapnel out of that thing when they start turning into it.
Modern day Memphis Belle. Oh, dude, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, and good on the crews for getting it back.
Yeah. I mean, you imagine like, hey, that's your plane. We need you to fly it halfway around the world back home. And you look at it like, did you get them all?
Yeah. Why do I see sun?
Right.
Why is there light shining through this?
Can you imagine going through the book? Like 8 hours prior to departure, you're like, all right, we got to start going through this book. All the write-ups and repairs.
Especially if they like, door 6 right repair. Like there's 200 individual write-ups for each time they put a patch on it.
That's another job for your nav. It's like, hey,
they don't have navs anymore. That's the boomer. The boomer.
Yeah. That's right. There's only 3 in there, right? Usually.
Yeah.
Or load mess, maybe.
W Landman says it'll be cannibalized and sent to the boneyard. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
And thank you, Scott Winters. So, interesting news on the other side. The U.S. has deployed the Red Wolf missile on the OA-1K for a 370-kilometer strike. Yeah, the communism's strong here. But in the article, they actually talk about it. It reaches beyond 200 nautical miles, turning a light turboprop into a long-range strike platform. It's a low-cost option for special ops. On April 10th, they did a fit check on the Skyraider 2 international variant. Confirms the aircraft can deploy a networked multi-domain weapon. Already advancing through the Navy. Maybe you know something about this, Gonky. The Red Wolf was selected for the Marine Corps precision strike efforts. The pairing links an aircraft entering the Special Operations Command service with weapon approaching operational use, accelerating fielding of distributed strike capability. That is it right there. Interesting looking machine.
Yep.
Is that 2 targeting pods?
Redundancy, man.
We need, yeah. It follows the February 2026 showcase of the Red Wolf on the Skywarden and comes as the Red Wolf has already been selected by the U.S. Naval Air Command System, Air Systems Command for the Marine Corps Precision Attack Strike Munition Program. The aircraft is more robust. L3 says that the Skyraider 2 offers a 6-hour loiter at a 200 nautical mile combat radius, 6,000-pound flexible combat load, short takeoff and landing, multiple radios and data links for line of sight and beyond line of sight connectivity, and the ability to host EO, IR, and other ISR, which is surveillance payloads through a modular open systems architecture. Air Tractor's official 802U specifications add, we need a T-Bear for this.
Yeah.
1,600 shaft horsepower, 16,000-pound gross weight, 8,164 on the useful load. So it can also carry 1,000-pound class stores, guns from the 50 to the 20 mic, and it's not limited to carrying single exotic weapons. Red Wolf itself, in case you're wondering what it is, changes the tactical geometry, multi-domain kinetic vehicle for long-range precision strikes, extended loiter and standoff engagement capability. Basically, it says demonstrated high subsonic performance, 200 plus nautical miles of low altitude range, more than 60 minutes of endurance, beyond line of sight communications, autonomous over the horizon engagements. The system has also been flight tested with such aircraft as the AH-1Z. So it doesn't need to be just on this. From an operational standpoint, this configuration offsets the usual weakness of light turboprop attack aircraft survivability, because it's not to mix up with 5th and 6th gen fighters, but when a rugged aircraft can remain overhead for hours, operate from austere strips near disaggregated forces, and release a 200 nautical mile class effector from outside many local threat range, it stops being merely a permissive environment gun truck. It becomes a distributed launch node, able to scout, persist, relay targeting. There's a lot of buzzwords in this article.
Yeah.
Project precision effects. This was obviously written by L3. Could support special ops teams, maritime littoral patrols, border security missions, counterterrorism raids, expeditionary crisis response, tailwheel stole aircraft. Lot of stuff here. Gonky, what do you think, man? Is this the replacement to the A-10?
I think it's dumb, dude. I mean, this is about as stupid as trying to make an F-35 an A-10. All right, so nothing against the Sky Warden. Or the OA1. I think it's it's great for what it is, right? Low cost, close air support, get down and dirty. I mean, dude, it's basically a crop duster. It's Dusty Crop Hopper with a goes to the Air Force, right? It says in there, right? So the airplane itself, what does it say, has 200-mile combat radius. So you give it a missile, right? But I don't, and maybe there are certain times or applications where you would want a long range precision strike weapon on a short range close air support aircraft. But I would think leave your long range precision strike stuff to F-35s, Strike Eagles, Hornets, right? Dude, this airplane is designed for in close, low altitude support of stuff going on the ground, and I just don't see how okay, can it do it? Great, spending a bunch of money on it, sure. Like you said, they use a lot of buzzwords in there, so they're trying to sell it. But I would argue better technologies to make it a better low altitude, low slow attack aircraft would be money better spent. Because I just can't see any commander being like, well, we got a target 200 miles away. Where's the OA1? I mean,
where's the crop duster?
Where's the crop duster at? I've got a target long range I want to nail. No, dude, you're not going to do that, right? So I just, to me, it's marrying up the wrong weapon to the wrong aircraft. But that's just what I think. It's great that it can do it. Hey, if you have an airplane that could carry every weapon in the inventory, is that a good thing? Sure. Does it make sense? I mean, I don't think so. That's just me, though. I mean, when I was doing CAS in the F-18, when you're supporting actual troops on the ground, I did some gun employment, so I was up close, relatively speaking, not for an A-10 guy, but you're not concerned about what's going on outside of the very terminal environment there, right? Area within like 5 miles. So this airplane is designed very, specifically to be right in there. I don't understand why they give it a weapon with this kind of range, or at least spend the money on it. But that's what I think, Mover. What do I know? What do you think?
Yeah, while you've been saying that, I'm trying to come up with a use case, right? Because what they talk about this is not, it's not a replacement to the A-10 because it's only for AFSOC. So Special Operations Command, like the MC-130, right? They're their own community. They're separate from the rest of the C-130 bubbas. And they're very specific for the snake eaters, the knife in the teeth, SEALs, Air Force Special Forces folks, Delta, whoever, all the acronym folks and the ones that do really cool things and kick in doors. But a 6-hour loiter time, yeah, awesome. They might have an op that goes on that long. like I can see some uses for the airplane itself. It's got to be, you know, counterinsurgency or coin, low threat. What they're talking about in the article is that this thing is outside of a threat ring from a surface-to-air missile or a fighter, and then can throw this thing downrange inside the threat ring and go do it. And I'm with you, dude. I don't see a use case where you wouldn't already have an F-35 or something that, you know, that's why we spent all this money on stealth. I mean, I could see it if it's a place we haven't forward deployed assets, right? Because, you know, like AFSOC goes to other places in the world by themselves, like the counter boat stuff that they're doing right now, like in Central America, Horn of Africa, all these places that they go, and they don't necessarily bring fighter support with them. And they're like, we want to bring our own. We got this thing. It'll loiter for 6 hours. We're not really worried about surface to air threat. And if we do have a specific target, we throw this thing on it. It'll shoot it, you know, 200 more miles than it can go. Okay. I don't, you know, it's like, I don't see the reason for it, but I don't see the reason against it either. Like if you've got an airplane that you want to have as a Swiss Army knife, it doesn't hurt to have it be able to do more stuff.
I mean, but okay, I understand that, but it's like saying, okay, we're going to put the AMRAAM on the A-10.
Hell
It's
yeah,
like,
dude. They should put
right.
9Xs on that thing.
9X, yes. But like, why would you put, you know, the latest and greatest AMRAAM on the A-10? It's not really.
But that's not this, though. This is a surface to air or surface air to surface, because that's stupid. Air to ground weapon, right? It's a loiter munition. Like, I think there's, just like they're putting it on the Cobra. Like, do you think they should not put it on the AH-1Z?
You know, I don't know. It may be one of those things, dude, where it can do it, but they never, like the Hornet would carry things that, you know, I never used or we trained very little to, like the Harpoon, right? They carry the I mean, how many, like, do you remember how to use the Harpoon in the Hornet?
I never learned.
Okay. Well, I did learn, and I've since forgotten how to use the Harpoon in the Hornet, right? And it would carry it, no problem. So it might be one of those things where, like, okay, yeah, it's, you know, it was a cheap check in the box. We can, if we need it, it's in the arsenal. But I just, dude, I see stuff like this, and what I see is, hey, let's take an airplane that is built for a very specific mission, like you said, be down and dirty with the snake eaters. But now, you know, they're all like, well, crap, we're getting rid of the A-10. The F-35 is really not what we thought it was going to be. So how do we bridge this gap? And, you know, now they're like, well, let's introduce some more you know, you're kind of going back into that, you know, let's see if it can do more when it was really specifically designed for one thing. And the other thing, just because the airplane can do it, kind of like I touched on, dude, you know, 99% of the training that these OA1 guys are doing is all really close, like you said, supporting the guys on the ground. And then they probably get like one sim with shooting this thing, and that's it, right? Yeah, you're a qual, right? Yeah. So I don't know. I don't see it as I don't know. It's like I just don't see it as fitting the mission of the aircraft. But like you said, I mean, you tried really hard and you did paint a scenario where maybe they could use it. So maybe they can, you know?
Maybe. You never know, Gonky. Anything's possible when you believe.
That's true. That's true.
Let's see here. Legless Turtle says, is there a benefit to using a prop plane in a man-pad environment? It gives them a target for longer.
Yeah, the fireball's smaller when you get hit.
Armor. I mean, I guess you got armor, and if you get hit, you can just land and then go punch the guy that shot you in the face.
Well, I imagine that if you have expendables, they would work better, right? Because I mean, you don't have you don't have the jet plume coming out the back, but I mean, yeah, I imagine.
Are they? Is the questioner thinking maybe there's a lower heat signature, less to track?
That's how I read it.
It's a turbofan though, so or I'm sorry, a turboprop. So I mean, like, still a jet basically.
It is, but I mean, you know,
yeah, it's not an afterburning.
Yeah,
jet.
even out of afterburner, the air coming out of the back is significantly.
Warhorse says Red Wolf, Airwolf connection confirmed. Well, then that makes it the bad guy because Red Wolf was not.
Yeah.
Why do we call it the Sky? Why can't we come up with new names?
No, incapable.
They should call it like the combat tractor.
Yeah, dude, or Dusty Crop Hopper. I mean, I'm with you, man. I don't, they try to keep the. I mean, I get it. I agree with you, but I also understand why.
Yeah. W Landman says if it provides more capability, why not use it? Yeah, Gonky, why not?
Well, let's put AMRAMs on it. What the heck, man? Then it could do DCA, OCA. I mean, come on.
That's what I say.
You know what? Get rid of one of those FLIRs and put a little ESA. Put a little.
Can you imagine you got smoked by a Dusty Crop Hopper?
Due to a turning fight down low, it could be real.
Yeah. All right. That's it for that topic. Oh, wait, no. Holly Movie Star says, see, that is the perfect platform for the GAU 8. That thing would fly backwards.
I don't think. Yeah, I think a full belt and the gun, you would need JATO to assist it to get airborne.
Yeah. Holly Movie Star says, when I first saw those on the Herbie flight line, talking about Hurlburt. And let's see, this is for the other topic. Pipcore says maintenance crews should be paid per patch. God, you'd be rich.
Yeah.
Skid says Bert.
Yeah, Skid. There's no replacement for the A10, man.
A hygiene question. Tom would like to know, Gonky, how do you keep your teeth so white?
Brush twice a day, floss at night. That's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Kazozi says maybe the Red Wolf is anti-cartel.
Maybe.
They're calling it the Russell case. Airwolf had a backseat or two, but he was a pilot.
Yeah.
Aaron. So he's useful.
Yeah. He was smart.
Eric says turn the KC-135 into a museum piece. Wouldn't surprise me if it happened.
It might.
Yeah. Self-lighting museum piece because you don't need lights in there because you just use the sun.
Yeah, dude. It's reef ready. Just throw it in the water. It's got all those little holes in it. Just sink right to the bottom. Be good for the fish.
Is it like a golf ball with the dimples makes it more aerodynamic?
Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
Yeah. All right. Your air traffic controls are still. Oh, no. Air traffic control is soon going to sound more like a Call of Duty lobby, probably with a lot of slurs. But the FAA wants video gamers to be the next generation of air traffic controllers. The FAA is targeting video gamers, and because they're just short-staffed, but they're going to look for applicants starting April 17th. They've got 11,000 controllers working, 4,000 in the pipeline, but need thousands more to be fully staffed. And they're going to use this campaign to reach the growing demographic of young adults who may have many hard skills it takes to be a successful controller. Gamers are encouraged to level up your career on the hiring website, which includes mission requirements and lists technology being rolled out as part of the department's efforts to bring the air traffic control system to the 21st century. We're modernizing the sky. The best and brightest controllers leverage the world's most advanced air traffic technology. The website promises high score rewards, including paid training, government benefits, and average yearly earnings exceeding $155,000 after 3 years of service. According to a report of the GAO, the air traffic controllers in the U.S. has declined by 6% in the last decade. Shortage has been fueled by COVID-19, multiple shutdowns, and other unexpected trends in the market. The report published last year found the FAA is not consistent in assessing its processes to recruit, hire, and train air traffic controllers. However, it's not the first time they've targeted gamers for controllers. In 2021, they launched a Level Up hiring campaign, which sought to attract video game players and diversify the workforce. According to the DOT, 25% have college degrees, 65% of Americans regularly play video games. So there's a correlation there somehow. They believe that positive cognitive influences like quick thinking, Staying focused and managing complexity would translate well for the intense task controllers need to complete. But being a controller is a difficult job. Obviously, there was the issue with Air Canada that we've talked about and the DCA workload. It's high stakes. Gonky,
What's my take?
as someone who is a very, very extreme gamer.
Oh yeah. No, I don't play a lot of video games. But the video games I've played, I could see the correlation, man. The whole shortage of air traffic controllers, in my mind, man, there's really two things that need to improve. I mean, people, especially in the civilian world, they vote with their attendance, right? So you got to pay them more. Sorry, $150,000. It's a lot, but it's not, in my opinion, it's not enough for air traffic controller. The responsibilities. I mean, us as pilots, carry a lot of responsibility, but our partners in crime a lot of times is ATC. So, these are high performing individuals and high performing under stress, right? So, I don't think they're offering enough money. The whole nonsense like we just went through where the government shuts down, they don't get paid. I mean, there needs to be something in there like, listen, unless the United States defaults on everybody doesn't get paid, that's when you don't get paid. But like at the end of the day, you got to keep your essentials funded, which 1000% are your air traffic controllers if you want any semblance of a safe way to travel, at least in the United States. So, and then pony on top of that, probably they need to take a harder look at rest rules for air traffic controllers as well, because, they're sitting in a room, right? Managing a lot of stuff. Physically, it's probably not taxing, but mentally it is. And I would argue that they probably need to have a little bit better rest/work rules.
Well, they need fatigue rules. I mean, so they can flip body clocks. Right. They have these schedules where you start days and go to nights, and it's like, who does that? You're going to kill people.
That's what I'm saying.
Have to kill people.
That's what I'm saying. So, I actually think, as far as executing the job goes, they need to kind of be more in line with pilots, really, because it's all about human performance and using your a lot of judgment calls, a lot of conceptualizing of things that are going of things that are happening. A lot of times, just listening to the radio and then figuring it out in your head. So, I think that they need to essentially, you got to make the job more attractive. And I think you fix that, you fix the pay, you fix the work rules. And I think you're going to have people starting to come to it's a trade, come to the trade. But until that gets fixed, I think it's going to be an uphill battle because, for as skilled as they need to be, I'd argue there's probably a lot of other jobs in the country you could get making that much money without the stress. But that's just me. That's what I think. Mover.
Yeah, it's a tough one because this is, I disagree where they're like, oh, COVID-19 did this. Dude, this has been going on for decades. It's just been made worse. I agree with you, pay people, make it a good quality of life. Staffing is part of that. So you have to be able to draw people in. And on other government agencies like ICE, of all things, they're doing a great job of recruiting. They're getting people in the door because they're reaching the demographics. They're motivating them. People are signing up with bonuses and all that stuff. I was just looking up, I always knew the retirement age was 56, which is lower than the airlines at 65. But in 2025, I just read that the Department of Transportation waived that in a lot of cases to 61. So I would ask that question, like, why can an airline pilot go to 65, but a controller can't? What's the difference there? As far as them going after gamers, I think if you want to go after gamers, you have to give them a game that replicates what they're going to do. You've got on the airline side, you got Microsoft Flight Sim. On the military side, you got stuff like DCS. I mean, I think you almost have to integrate, because I know VATSIM exists, right, where people can pretend to be air traffic controllers and stuff, but I think you have to have some kind of major push within the gaming industry to show what the job is and why it's fun and what you can do, because that's how kids learn. Whether there's a correlation between playing Call of Duty or Battlefield or whatever game and air traffic controlling, that's probably a question for our resident expert, Doug, who's both a gamer and a psychologist, a doctorate of psychology. He's still muted. He hasn't brought himself to the...
I'm just waiting for you to get my title right.
See, definitely a doctor. But, okay, what do you think?
I kind of like it. I think that, like you said, if you target it the right way, it's not crazy. Gamification in jobs and gamification in training is already a thing. So going right at gamers.
Well, do you agree that go at the gamers, or to actually target them with games that are appealing to make them want to do the job? You see what I'm saying? The difference, right? One is advertising, one is... Because the Army did this. Remember when the Army did that? They made a Army video game.
Yeah, there was an Army FPS, and it doesn't exist anymore. So
you basically want a simulation, like a game that's a simulation, like
it's
DCS.
VATSIM. In Microsoft Flight Sim, it's called VATSIM, where you can go be a controller, and they actually have all kind of rules and stuff. And you need whether it's integrated into Microsoft Flight Sim or if it's own standalone thing or whatever, I think you need that.
Yeah.
And you can put it in DCS. You can put it in Microsoft Flight Sim. You can put them in whatever.
I mean, I can see how they draw the conclusion of like the skills that you just that people use when playing just games in general, like video games in general, could be applied to being an air traffic controller. I can see that, but I agree with you, Mover. I think it'd be more useful if they had a more a game that was more in line with controlling something.
So I would worry, Doug, and you can answer this too, because a lot of modern video games, like, it depends on the game, right? A lot of modern video games are used for that quick dopamine hit, and it's very short attention span stuff.
It's a lot different from sitting there for 10 hours controlling other people's lives and deaths.
It's a little different to be down in the Mountain Dew and playing a round of Call of Duty versus focusing for a 8, 10, 12-hour shift in a high stress, life or death, high stakes environment.
I concur on that one.
So, you might be getting people that aren't the social, talkative, focusing types that you want.
That's true. It's like, wait, we gotta talk.
Yeah, I gotta talk to people.
I thought it was just
real people,
right? Real people.
Yeah. I don't know. I hope they find more though, because part of the problem, like you talked about, Gonky, the work rules, the sleep and fatigue rules.
Yeah,
that they're not protected as much as pilots, and they do a very important job. Like, there's no doubt that a good controller can be the difference between life and death. Literally, I mean, it's not an exaggeration. We've seen many, many examples, from the mishaps to the saves, where the controller is the difference between somebody having a really bad day and having a really good day.
Well, and as we're taught in aviation in general, I mean, they are part of your CRM network when you are dealing with an emergency, right? So they can either help you or degrade, your efforts based on how good and competent they are. And I think the gamer thing, man, I mean, that's great. You can explore that, but I think they're barking up the wrong tree, man. People, we're all human beings, right? And like, we look at our opportunities and we pick the best opportunity. And I don't think the pay and the current fatigue and work rules that are set up for air traffic controllers lends itself to being an attractive job for somebody. I mean, you ask anybody, say, hey, would you ever want to be an air traffic controller? No way, dude. Too much stress, not enough pay, right? I mean, and next time the government runs out of money, I'm going to go a month without getting paid, right? So
I wonder if that's a branding thing, because like remember pushing 10, and we've pushed this narrative for so long that it's too high stress, and controllers have the highest stress job and stuff like that. I'm not saying that they don't, but I'm saying that we have branded it such that it turns people away versus a little bit of narrative flip and go, it's a challenging job, but highly rewarding, you have to sell it.
Well, that could be part of the campaign. I mean, you could run, the government could run some ads like, okay, change the pay, change the work rules, change essentially the job, the job description, and then advertise it, right? Because people don't know. Like, I mean, dude, pushing 10's what, 30 years old now?
Yeah, nobody's seen that now, but
correct.
But they see the news where X happens, controller gets thrown under the bus. They see the news where, we've talked about the DEI thing, and we've said that, nobody's qualified because all they've been hiring is DEI and stuff like that. Like, you have to get out from these shadows and just focus on the job. Focus on, here's the job, and you will enjoy it.
Yeah. And you bring up a good point, man. Maybe, I mean, there needs to be some liability protections too. Cause dude, I can't think of a case where it was the controller's fault and people died, where that controller like went to work that day thinking, I'm going to kill a bunch of people today. It's just, that's the stakes of the game. So I think that like I said, they need to tweak the compensation and benefits of that job, and they'll have no problems attracting, smart, competent individuals who can do the job, and they'll be good at it too.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not reading that, Doug. Sorry. Jay Bavario says, just wanted to see my name come up.
There you are. Perfect.
Wherever you go, there you are. B. Shoke says, gamers renowned for their ability to speak calmly and clearly on microphone. Impulse control.
Yeah.
W. Landman says, gamers nowadays can do 10 things at once. I don't know. Like, we have this thing about, well, gamers this, gamers that. There are bad gamers out there. I know because I'm one of them.
Have you seen our streams?
Right. So, I mean, it's just because you play games doesn't necessarily make you good at anything. It just means you have no social life. And then
you've got a sweet basement. That's what it means, right?
It means you have spent a lot of money on a computer. Joe says, the Dungeons and Dragons count. I mean, yeah, like does iRacing count? Does Ready or Not count? 66cc Rider. Hello, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow, man.
Time to dance. They need to do like Kroger, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and get paid same day. That's how you attract this current generation.
Wow, is that what Kroger does?
Make it a gig economy. Like Uber for air traffic control. You order the app, the dude shows up, he controls for a couple hours, he goes home. Gets paid $50 plus gratuity.
Oh, wow.
Liger Noir says, my love of Ace Combat will not translate to being an air traffic controller. Seriously, though. What it'll translate to is you making these long-winded diatribes that have nothing to do with what you're doing, where you have to explain the plot through AWACS. Seriously, though, that job is awful. You get assigned to some of the worst cities, working worse hours than a cop, non-existent work-life balance.
That's what I'm talking about. I mean, the pay's got to be commensurate with the line of work. I mean, if you're at one of these crappy locations, guess what? It's a lot more than 150K, right? I mean, it's the same. Yeah.
Maycel's reference desk. Thanks. Audiobooks with good narrators are great. That's true.
That is true. Yeah.
Bad narrator makes it bad, though.
Yeah.
1337 Pro Killer. AFRICOM and security forces really need a bird like the Sky Raider 2. Sector is lacking infra for large-scale air support operations to assist combat of terror groups in that part of the world. Lots of security or special forces there. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Gonky. I said those words, but not as smartly as this man or woman said it.
We know. Yeah. We know, Mover.
Hey, You don't get to no, Gonky. You don't get to do that, Mr. Spicy Cheese. Stupid Magnet says there's no pause button in the real world.
That's true. Yeah.
JD says I play Police Simulator to relive my glory days.
Yeah, it's all right, man. We just talk about our glory days.
Holly Movie Star says ATC using 3D augmented reality to control airspace. Then you have neck problems from wearing the stuff on your head. AI is probably where that's going. Until it hallucinates airplanes that don't exist out there and makes them lemon mover.
Or if it gets tired of dealing with you, just pulls over, right?
Just pulls over and puts the hazards on.
Yep, that's it.
Joe says, anyone else notice that since Gonky put the manager shirt on, he's...
I'm going to go
negative on all topics. Maybe it is a shot. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just angry.
Gonky's like, none of this can be done. It's all stupid. Go back to your office. Go back to your cubicle. Think about it. Kevin says, FA has physicals just as the pilots. How many up-and-coming gamers will pass with the overuse of SSRI? Or be able to make it up the stairs in the tower when the elevator goes out? Ask me how I know. You never sat soft in the Air Force, did you?
No, but I've been up a couple towers, man.
In Homestead, for like 3 months, the elevator was out. So every time you'd sit soft, you'd do up the however many 50 flights of stairs or whatever it is.
Yeah. Navy doesn't do soft unless you're on the carrier.
Full afterburner. If they raise the age, I consider ATC. Couldn't go fly the Viper and had no desire to fly for an airline, but I think I'd do ATC.
Yeah.
W Landman says, I played Air Warrior back in the 90s. You don't want me as an ATC. Well, you know, dude, this is kind of common with government jobs in general. I'll speak from my own personal experience as far as how I look at it, because one of the things I looked at even recently was customs, air marine operations, you know, the flying side of that, which is the helicopters and stuff. And what I found, and I know it's similar because anything with USA jobs, anything with government federal hiring has its own problems. And it's not just who you're targeting, it's the process itself. For example, with like CBP, you know, it's a federal agency, right? So you're at the mercy of what they want. Like if I go to you and say, I will go fly, like I am a qualified, airline transport pilot, military fighter pilot, helicopter law enforcement guy, had a badge for the last, 12 years. I'd be a good candidate. But then you go talk to them and they're like, well, the training program is in residence for, 16 weeks. And which, by the way, air traffic controllers, a lot of people don't realize how hard that training program is. It's a pipeline. It's in residence. So you get that part, and that turns people away. Then you get to the, hey, what location can I do? Well, since it's the government, we can't guarantee necessarily where you'll be. You can put your preference in. Well, when do I get to do that? Well, it's after training, after you spend the money. Well, that kind of sucks. So you can't tell me that. No. Well, okay. Well, what about the salary? Well, the salary is actually, GS whatever, but you don't get to, because remember that ad just says 155,000 in 3 years. Well, the first couple of years are garbage, right? But well, we might get you this bonus. Like federal employment, like cannot get out of its own way to get qualified people. Like they can't just go, hey, I want to be an air traffic controller in New Orleans. How do I do that? Okay, well, here's a recruiter. We'll get you to school. How do we help? How do we make this work for you? Like other corporate jobs might do with headhunters and stuff like that. Like they will spend all this money in recruiting. And then when they get the qualified applicant, they're going to go, okay, well, you need to do this test and you need to do this test and you need to do this. And they're going to lose the applicants.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. It's a hurdle in and of itself, right? To get your foot in the door.
Yeah, and the gamers aren't going to put up with it.
No,
I mean they're going to do the same thing where it's like, okay, process is too difficult. Next.
Yeah,
I didn't want it that bad.
Yeah, no, I agree. the barrier to, if you're truly hurting for people, the barrier to entry has to be reasonable, and I don't think it's reasonable, and the compensation has to be per the job, which in this case is, I think, they're pretty far off.
CBP, I was talking to a guy at our other place of work who could not get through the CBP process because he did not have a top secret clearance. Because if he had a current active TSSCI, they were waiving the polygraph. So they were making dudes do the full scope background polygraph plus do the check ride up in Oklahoma City. I'm sorry, dude, but if I've got an ATP, right, I don't need to be doing a check ride in a Cessna. I don't need to do it. Like, just look at my resume. What's your question? And it's for all these people. Like, they're like, well, we can't change the standard. Like, it's got to be standardized, and that's a problem.
Yeah, dude. I mean, we could go on and on. I mean, I think if you're a qualified military aviator, you should get an ATP just here.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. No, I agree, man. We like to make fun of government processes, but unfortunately, the process of getting a government job is also not ideal.
Process is the punishment.
Correct.
Joe says, Gonky off topic, but I'm going to Glen Helen Thursday. What does that mean?
Really? To ride dirt bikes or race car? It's in San Bernardino, California. They've got like an off-road track there. It's a famous motocross track. They got the police. There's a police driving school there. It's pretty cool. You get to watch the cops do their thing, but yeah, awesome. Have fun, man. Careful.
Have Blue XST says gamers doing ATC just means it'll be the tower meowing on guard instead of board Delta FOs. We've got that as a topic if we ever get to it. Liger Noir says, as a former CBPO, you get such little choice in location. Some people get lucky, but almost all .gov you have to do is 10 years to get where they want. Yeah, nobody's going to do that, dude. If I can't get Hammond, I don't want to be in CBP.
Right.
Like, I don't want to go to Laredo or Puerto Rico or anything with an O at the end of it.
Yeah.
Full Afterburner USA says, fellow state hiring is the same. Currently work for a state government in the Northeast, and the only thing they do makes sense, including hiring. Yeah. Anything government related is probably going to be messed up.
Yeah, it needs fixed. Oh, it's because, dude, they're not for profit, so what do they care? That's their mentality. Yeah. So
they just need to put a warm body in the seat. Speaking of trying to get more people, the Air Force boosts the 2026 bonus incentives. Program increases payouts for shorter commitments, says the AvWeb, Matt Ryan, with total contracts reaching up to $600,000. Of course, they put a mud hen on there. That's part of the problem right there.
Well, there's some vacancies in the mud hen.
Yeah. According to Wednesday announcement, look at the top, it says who edited it, and I think we need to go back and talk to them. According to the Wednesday announcement from the SECAF Public Affairs, the updated program offers multi-year contracts, also known as the Devil's Money, ranging from 3 to 12 years, with annual payments of up to $50,000 plus gratuity, depending on career field and experience level. The changes particularly focus on fighter, bomber, and the U-2 communities, where higher payouts are now available for shorter-term agreement. The aviation bonus is available to eligible Air Force lieutenant colonels and below, including pilots, RPA aircraft operators, I'll never call them a pilot, air battle managers, and combat systems officer who are qualified for operational flying duty and receive aviation incentive pay. Applies to both active duty and Air Reserve component personnel serving under the voluntary limited period of the active duty program. Officials said the initiative is intended to provide more predictable personnel retention while supporting ongoing operational requirements. They are talented with critical skills that are highly sought after. Air Force Chief of Staff General Ken Wolfsbach said in the announcement, the aviation bonus is an incentive that helps us retain expertise, ensures you have the right mix of experienced aviators to meet warfighting demands and today and into the future. So Air and Space Forces magazines reported individuals who qualify their highest rate and choose the longest available agreement could receive as much as $600,000 in bonus payments over the life of a single contract. That is the topic. Gonky, how do you feel about this money?
$600,000 if you sign up for 40 more years of
12
service.
years. Yeah, that's the 12-year plan. So
we'll
I mean,
spread it out nice and even for you. Yeah, it's we've talked about it before. It's been a while. I mean, $600,000, they're definitely they're coming to play now, Mover. I don't know. They offered me bonus money and a promotion to stay in, and I turned it down. It wasn't 600 grand. I forget what it was, but it was 6 figures.
A promotion to what?
Well, I mean, lieutenant commander, right?
Oh, right. The one you're going to get anyway.
Yeah, correct. Okay. Right. So, okay. So the way the timing works, about the time you, at least in the Navy, I think in the Air Force too, about the time you're done with your commitment, trying to make that decision, do I stay in or get out? You're right up on a promotion, right? Which is, I don't know what it is, another $1,000 a month or whatever. I can't remember. And then on top of that, like, hey, if you stay, like Mover said, we'll give you the devil's money, which I think at the time for me, I think it was 125 grand over 5 years, something like that. But 600 grand is a lot of money. But my reasons for leaving didn't include in any way, shape, or form money. It wasn't the money. Like we've talked about before, I'd have flown fighters for free. Don't tell the military that. I loved it. Everything about it. My priorities in life changed from being a fighter pilot. I just gotten married, and I wanted to have a life with my wife, and I wanted to have kids and be a part of their lives. And I just knew that the military, couldn't, it wouldn't work. So that's why I left. And there's a lot of guys that are like me. It's not a money thing. Now there are some guys that, it might be a money thing, and you're always going to get a few of those. Is it going to fix their problem? I kind of don't think so, but what do you think, Mover?
I don't think they've got a lot of tools in the old tool chest when it comes to fixing these problems, because some of retention, there's multiple facets of retention. One is money. And as far as that, you're never going to compete with the civilian sector unless it's an economic downturn and there's nowhere for them to go as pilots. Because part of the problem we have as pilots is we're very limited in the jobs we can take, right? The natural career progression typically is the airlines. Sometimes there's other options as well, whether it's charter, like fractionals or flying jobs in general. Some don't do that and they go do something else. But in general, the standard career path is the airlines. In the last, 10 years now, 12 years, the airlines have been in a boom. And that means that they have been making more money than what is possible for less work, for less stress, for less deployments, for all that stuff. But I agree with you, dude. I don't think it's the money. If there were 100% job satisfaction in the Air Force side, you would never, I don't think there would still be a few people that are like money over everything, but you would never see this exodus. A lot of it has been the policies, the treatment, the people who get promoted. The promotion system in the Air Force is broken. The leadership in general of how they pick who ends up doing it as a result of that is broken, because you're putting people that maybe should not be in those seats in roles of higher responsibility, which then they turn around and flex their newfound position and run people off. Because people don't quit bad jobs, they quit bad bosses, right? If you could tell a dude all you got to do is go fly, be tactical, and do the work, it'd be hard to pry him away from it. But the problem is the ones that are getting targeted at these age and rank groups are the ones that are looking at the fork in the road and going, I can go do a job where all I have to do is fly, get paid a lot, and go home, and I don't have to worry about it. Or I can be a Bob, and I have to worry about TPS cover sheets and all that stuff. So in that regard, I think it's a tough sell. And honestly, I don't know how to fix it. I think you have to offer the bonuses. I think, I don't think it's a bad idea to offer some bonuses, but I think the only way to right the ship of retaining talent is a wholesale transformation of, you've trained your whole career to do the job, and that's what we're going to expect you to do. And the leadership responsibilities are going to be leading people and not being managers, because fighter pilots and pilots don't like being managers. They like being leaders, but they don't like being managers and babysitters. And when they get the option between the two, I think that's why they choose the door.
Yeah, dude. I think one thing that would certainly help is there needs to be some, for example, in order to get past a certain rank, you got to do ACSC, right? Or to get past a certain rank, you got to do this. You want to keep, like there's a whole bunch of stuff that take the warfighter away from warfighting stuff. And as a fighter pilot, especially as a Hornet guy, like a single seat Hornet guy, my time is precious. Don't waste my time. I'm not going to do anything that wastes my time. Right. And, guys like me, look at the things that you have to do once you get past your, as we called it in the Navy, the RJO tours, right? Which your first 10 years heavily focused on doing the job that the American people, hired you to do, which would be, in my case, a fighter pilot. But after that 10 years, it's like, dude, there's a whole bunch of things that you have to do if you're going to stay on the career path. And then if you're not on the career path, well, then you're probably not going to fly anymore. Well, dude, I want to stay in the cockpit. I want to keep doing, fighter pilot stuff. I don't want to be a skipper. Right. So where I'm going with this is there needs to be an avenue in active duty where you say, listen, I don't want to be on the path. That doesn't mean I'm a dirtbag. That doesn't mean I'm lazy. I just don't want to do, my goal is not to be an admiral. I just want to be a fighter pilot. I think there's
a problem, Gonky.
Well, I know that's the problem.
That's the problem. That's exactly the problem.
What is the problem?
The problem is that when you, right, or people like you or us say, I don't want to do that, right, you are automatically removed from the pool.
Blackballed.
Right?
100%.
Who gets promoted? The people you don't want.
The bootlickers.
You don't have the leaders of men. No. You have the managers, followers, and the ones that check the squares and do the nerd stuff and all that stuff. Honestly, dude, if you want that, what you need to do is make it a qual just like everything else. You start with your wingman qual, your flight lead qual, your instructor pilot qual, and then, your department head qual, or, in the Air Force flight commander qual. And it's a qual, and it's treated just as like any other tactical qual, and it's done in-house, and then you move up that way, because that's how you get the leaders of men, the people, and it's gender neutral. But what I'm saying is it's a progression, not a, well, if you want to do this, you got to do this, and if you want to do this, and then we pick the ones that both have the desire and ability. Because otherwise it's, well, he did all of his PME. Like, dude, you've got majors that have done ACSC, Air War, like they've done all their PME that they possibly could because they're trying to set themselves, they're high potential officers. I'm sorry, but you're not high potential just because you've done a couple papers.
No, dude. Yeah, and then guess what? You may really suck at your actual job, which is being a pilot or a fighter pilot, right? So, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to me. When I got out of active duty, I literally told my friends, I was like, you know what? If they capped me at a Navy lieutenant and said I can finish the next 10 years and retire as a RAG IP, 1,000% I would have done it. Like, it wasn't the money. I enjoyed the job. I enjoyed what I was doing. Now, listen, if you want to go back to the fleet, there needs to be an avenue that is not the path where you don't get blackballed. And there isn't, because what happens, dude, the real loss is the investment that the taxpayers have made in you, and literally you're millions of dollars walking out the door. That's a shame.
The taxpayers invested in you as a leader. That's what I'm talking about, dude. I agree with you, but what I think too is that you as a leader, as a fighter pilot, you've led people in combat. You've led people as a mission commander. It's just like what we were talking about with the ATC thing. We look at the nerds and say we don't want to be the nerds. We create the job that becomes a management position. I guarantee you, if the squadron commander job or the skipper job were nothing more than you're leading the squadron to battle, you would want to sign up for it. You would want to lead people and take care of people, manage the resources necessary. You got rid of all the extra chaff and you said, we're focused on war fighting. It's my natural progression. I am still flying fighters or whatever I'm flying, and I am leading people into battle. I'm leading people to prepare them for combat. You're going to want to do that, and that's rightfully so. The problem, to your point, is that we make people choose not whether they want to be leaders, but whether they want to be politicians, whether they want to play the games. Because if the natural progression for you were to be a squadron commander, I don't think you would say no, right? If it meant leading and helping people at that point in your career.
I mean, I just, there's a lot more than obviously I just don't want to be a skipper, right? But, to Mover's point, we all want to, yes, I would take that job. But dude, not every leader wants to be on the path. And I would argue,
but those are the ones who should be.
That's correct. But, so kind of the gray area is the reserves, which is where, Mover and I went. It's kind of the best compromise, for what we're talking about. And dude, I tell you what, you don't have to be in a position of leadership to be a leader. I mean,
that's true.
The fact that you have highly experienced pilots within your cadre, which we saw with the 301st Fire Squadron there for a while. We had a whole bunch of diverse backgrounds, a lot of experience leading brand new guys around. And, even in that kind of environment, man, I mean, your leadership and your experience is useful. And what happens, active duty just flushes that down the toilet, like it's not worth anything. And it has, in my opinion, it has more than a monetary value for sure. It has it hurts your readiness. It hurts training. I mean, I don't know. It's tragic in my opinion. I mean, some nerd, some bean counter many decades ago decided that no, the path is the path. If you stray from the path, you get like a dirty booger, you're flicked to the side, you're worthless, you're nothing to us, and I honestly think, dude, it's, I think they're looking for the yes men, to be honest. That's my own opinion.
Here's how you fix it tomorrow. You stop comparing pilots to everybody else.
Well, that too. Yeah.
Don't compete against any other career field.
Yeah.
Don't do the same PME as any other career field. Like everybody does their own thing specific to their career field. And
right.
It's like there's no one size fits all option. You just can't.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. That'll probably get us fired, Gonky. Aaron says, would it be reasonable to privatize ATC? Airline pilots don't work for the government. What if ATC didn't either? Oh boy, that's a whole nother problem. Can of worms.
Yeah, I don't know.
JD says San Bernardino Sheriff's EVOC, where I went for my certification, is a Glen Helen. Mm-hmm. Skid pad was awesome. Oh, that's emergency vehicle operators course, by the way. Joe says dirt bike. Yeah.
Nice.
W. Landman says desperation's in the air. Air Force is one retirees back up to 70 years old, certain career field, 60-year-old for other. Dude, I don't want to hear it. Gonky and I tried to continue flying until we died. And
here we
have
are.
not spun a wheel for the United States military since January 2022.
Yeah.
So must not be that desperate yet because they're not calling us.
Nope.
The Navy guys says if you want to be a deadhead. Oh God. Ooh, PTSD flashback on that one. Department head. Yeah, that's from the old days. Or a skipper, you're going to stay in. The bonus helps the decision, but doesn't drive it. Night traps versus nights at home. I chose department head and skipper, and then carrier opso.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not saying, it's just my own personal opinion. We definitely need good people to stay in.
Blue Rex says Pale would be a good person to have on now. Well, he just made a post that he's putting his airline apps in, so hopefully.
Yeah.
soon.
So the training command, and we'll have Pale back on at some point, but the training command has implemented a program where, you can stay in and be an instructor, retain that talent. So, which is good. It's a starting point.
Washed Pilot says, I'll graduate and head to OCS in about a year for student naval aviator. What did you wish you knew before starting military flight training? Thanks for all the shows. I wish I knew everything.
That would have made it a lot easier.
No, in seriousness, I honestly, what is the Andy Bernard says? I wish I knew that I was in the good days before they were gone.
Yeah.
You blink and it's over. That's what I'll say. Enjoy every minute of it. Like even the hard days. Just enjoy it, because you will one day look back and man, I wish I could do that again. The camaraderie, the friends, the only way to get those is to not be a douche. So be the person that they want to fly with, your classmates, but enjoy every single moment.
Yeah, that's huge. I drive the golf cart at the church, and we have a lot of SNAs, student naval aviators, and I'll talk to them, and they're like, "Oh, so cool! You're in flight school." Like, yeah, and they're like, "Hey, were you in flight?" I was like, "Yeah, I was in flight school." Like, when? I'm like, 2002, and that's like when they were born, And like Mover said, to me, it's like yesterday, right? So
you need to start using. Doug and I learned a new term on our trip: ought.
The word ought to.
Ought to. Yeah, ought. The oughts. You went to pilot training in the oughts.
In the ought to.
Back in '05 when I was
back in '02
dealing with hurricanes.
'07.
Yeah. Good luck, man. That's awesome.
Full Afterburner USA. Mover, what made you leave the airlines? God, that's a long story. I'm going to have to do a whole video on it. Needless to say, I never liked it. So there's that.
Yeah.
Tacker says, Doug, please see my previous message, which is, I think this. Look at how bad the post office has become since they lowered the hiring standards. Having fewer people doing better work is how capitalism works. Yeah. All right. W. Land says, Gonky just wants to be in the trenches and the wrenches with the wrenches. Nothing wrong with that. Holly Movie Star is ending of An Officer and a Gentleman, the dream. What is the ending? God, I haven't seen that movie in so long.
With Richard Gere. Well, he graduates, right? He gets the girl and he goes to flight school. I think that's.
Who was the girl? Was it Holly Hunter?
I can't remember. I mean,
Was she a lady of the night?
Sort of.
Kind of. Her and her friend. Movie? Well, they were pilot hunters.
Badge bunnies.
Correct.
Reverend says maybe they try to funnel pilots upward to make room for new guys. There are only so many airframes, right? Which sort of makes it an industry issue. You need leaders, and you need experience. Jeff says, what percentage of O3s do you guys think get out due to this stuff? Well, they can't, because they have to be in for 10 years after pilot training. So that makes them probably an 04 by the time they get out.
Close to it.
I think it's pretty high.
Yeah.
And the airlines are doing well. It's very hard for.
Dude, I don't know. Like in 2010, 09 and 10, when I 09 and 10, when I became a RAG IP, no airlines were hiring. Everyone was furloughed. And when I showed up to the RAG, I remember one of the 06s, a Navy captain, going through, and he was big. He was drinking the Kool-Aid, and he was sitting there telling me, I cannot believe how many of you guys are getting out. And the OPSO was sitting there to the RAG, and he said, every single JO that is in the RAG who can get out after the RAG tour is getting out. And the reason was poor leadership. 100%. Had nothing to do with money, had nothing to do with, career advancement or opportunities. It was the leadership was failing. And basically what it was is leadership had taken a knee to the Army, because the Army was broke. And all of our guys were coming off a C tour and going straight in and doing a augmentee tour, ride around a Humvee in the desert for a year. Right? What do you think that does to families? Destroys them.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, what do you think that does to morale? Destroys it. So that's poor leadership.
The airlines don't have magically better leadership. They just pay more.
They don't. But my point is, even if the airlines aren't hiring, that didn't stop my generation back then. people were furloughed. Nobody was hiring. And every single IP that could get out got out.
Yeah. All right, Gonky. Do you want to do this last topic about the big unit?
I guess. I'm sure.
Airline pilot takes a big unit to the head. Flight diverts. I'm going to let you run this one, Gonky. This sounds like something right up your alley.
Bring it up, Doug. Yeah. Southwest. Thank you. So we'll make the training video. Maybe. Make it huge.
A little bit of a captain incapacitation here. We'd like to return. Do you need to declare? Nah, we'll just take medical priority. Okay, thanks. Yeah, it's just the HUD came down and hit him on the head on the takeoff roll. He'd like the EMS when we return.
Heads up,
568, okay. Let me know when you get a gate, and we'll coordinate it with the company. 568, welcome. Southwest 568, we got our gate, Charlie 4, C4. Thank you, sir. You're welcome.
Southwest 568, just had a question. Somebody wants to know the cause of the head injury.
Yeah, it's the captain side HUD came down through the takeoff roll and smacked him pretty hard on the head.
Southwest 568, roger, something on the captain side came down, you said?
Yeah, the heads-up display, it's a big unit, came down, smacked him on the head, and made him see stars, start throwing up.
Southwest 568, roger.
Yeah. So the big unit hit him on the head on takeoff. Maybe this is a 7.3 max problem. I don't know. Yeah, so basically on takeoff, the heads-up display came down, hit him in the head, he saw stars, and the FO is now logging PIC, I guess, right, by himself. So this is the first time I've ever heard of this happening in airliner. It's happened on cat shots to guys. Big Country had the UFC come out and hit him in the face, actually broke his nose because that's real acceleration in that case. But believe it or not, captain or pilot incapacitation is a scenario that I think did you guys train for it, Mover?
Oh, yeah, I had to do the rejected takeoff. Oh, the captain's not responding.
Right.
Reject my aircraft.
Right. So it's a scenario. In fact, I just did this, a similar scenario to this about a month ago where I'm at, which was the captain becomes incapacitated and then the first officer takes over and does everything. And it's, for me, it was awesome because I was back to just consulting myself and making decisions and putting my wheels down myself without talking. It was amazing. But yeah, I mean, hey, he handled it. The FO handled it well. I think it's, I don't know, Mover. You flew the 7.3. How does the HUD come down?
I'm confused by this because two things. One, because it folds, because it's the same as a 7.8. It folds out. So it goes like it's up and it goes forward. It swings, right? Which would hit you in the head. But you have to, I can't remember. I think you have to unlatch it to open it. And then you just move it to close it. So one has a latch, one doesn't. So that means the latch failed or whatever. But I'm wondering if like the whole assembly failed, right, or if it was just, it swung down on him.
So on my Navy example, or Big Country got hit in the face with the upfront control, there was like 4 bolts that hold that thing in and they weren't tight. So the whole unit came out of the dash and hit him in the face. I wonder if this 7.3 captain had, more than just the glass, that make up the heads up display come down and hit him, but if actually the unit came out of the
right, it would fall from the
overhead panel,
sky.
right?
Yeah, hold on. I got a picture of this. You see, great red dog.
Row. Oh, make it huge. Is that as big as it gets?
You see it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you see right here,
right?
I wonder. So you see the latch right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think when you put it up, you don't have to when you pull it down, you have to latch it. You have to squeeze the latch.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember which direction it is, but either way, so it folds up. So I wonder if this whole thing fell on him or if it swung forward you wouldn't think it would swing forward because you're accelerating on takeoff. My second question is, why wouldn't you just fly with it down? Because takeoff, I would want it. Like, why wouldn't you want it?
Dude, maybe he's, hardcore analog guy. I don't even know HUD.
Well, but then that goes to the point. It could have been down, and if the whole thing fell, you know what I mean? So if this whole assembly, the projector and all, falls on his head, that's going to hurt.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. Like maybe that whole assembly came out of the overhead panel and hit him, which, yeah, dude, I mean,
golly.
Yeah. So no bueno. So yeah, the FO got to log some PIC and
look, everything about this story was awesome until they had to make the FO get the gate. Because that meant he had to go in the thing. He's trying to set up approaches and stuff. He's got to do the changeover, send a message to the company, hey, we're coming back. It's all like the best dream ever until you have to do all the nerd crap that airliners make you do with the got to talk ACARs, 2 in, 2 out, got to brief everybody, whatever.
Yeah, I told so my scenario, I told Approach, I said, hey, call the company, tell them this happened, tell them I need a gate, and you tell me the gate.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what frequency to call them with.
Yeah, I like I said,
you'd have to do it ACARs.
I don't know. I don't do that.
I need a follow me truck, because then you got a taxi too. Exactly. You can't taxi from the right seat because there's no tiller.
Oh, that's right. The 7.3. You can't. Well, it sounded like the captain was still.
Yeah, he was still
conscious, but I mean,
just in pain.
He just took a lick to the. Maybe it. Yeah, took a.
But if that whole assembly up there fell, I mean, dude, he might be on long-term disability for a minute trying to get his medical back, because if you have a event that makes you see stars, as he said on the tape, that's unconsciousness or partial loss of consciousness. That's going to be a whole thing. You said it on the radio. So I hope the captain has a swift recovery.
Yeah, the FO said he threw up, so that's a pretty good whack.
The head injury,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's concussion there, right? That's typically a symptom of a concussion. Wow.
That's going to be. He's going to have a fight with the medical stuff.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the captain has a speedy recovery, and nice work with the FO there. I mean, he brought it back. I mean, good on you.
Well, at least it's. I'm glad it's not like because there are pilot incapacitations where it's like they keel over and have a heart attack.
Yeah.
Like this. Of the ways this could have gone wrong, but I do think he's going to have an uphill battle with his medical, and I think it's going to suck.
Yeah. So. Well, this is why we train for single pilot ops. So.
Yeah. Let's see here. We'll see from time to end this thing. Aaron says seeing stars and throwing up probably means concussion. FAA concussion standards review time are so tight the captain might not see the cockpit for at least another year. Speaking from experience. There you go.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Kevin says, Mover, any thoughts about combining your law enforcement and flying and go to work for Spirit or Frontier? Dude, I watched a video, I think it was Southwest or something, where some dude gets irate and starts yelling and being physically violent, and the federal air marshal is trying to get him off the plane. You couldn't pay me enough, dude. No, like if your airline doesn't have a first class,
what are you trying to say?
Nope. Full Afterburner says you can't taxi from the 7.3 from the right. Why? Because they don't install a tiller. They don't pay for the option because FOs aren't real people.
Yeah.
Mavis Bacon says, hey, Mover and Gonky, thank you for the great show and your service. Became a recent fan and now a weekly viewer of the show. Hell yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Look, it's Doug.
Yeah, I used to use that as my profile picture.
Yeah. Grown up Doug. All right. That's enough show for tonight. Gonky, we survived alone and unafraid.
We made it. A little under the weather, but we made it.
Yeah. We'll see you next week, probably.
No, definitely see us next week. We'll be fresh off a drill, so we'll be in our best form.
OPSEC. You can't tell people that.
Clean shaven.
Don't tell people stuff like that. All right. Yeah. Say goodbye to the beard. We'll see you next week.
See you guys.
Thanks, everybody. Good night. Thanks, Doug. Okay, he's muted. Bye.